Welcome one, welcome all to Pit Road Productions for a very special event. No Limit Racing, of course, runs their high-stakes late model series on Tuesday nights on this lovely broadcaster here, but we're doing the money race tonight here on Sunday, the 21st of September. This is the fantastic Midstate Showdown at Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55, sponsored, of course, by P1 Sim Sports, bringing it to you live here on the Pit Road Productions YouTube and Twitch channels. It's me, Reese Gardner. Daniel Zippy Salmon is alongside me in the commentary box and also producing behind the scenes. Zippy, this is a one-off event, and we're racing in the Dirt UMP Modifieds, which, it's been a while since I've seen these out on the track.
Yeah, definitely. It's the first time here for me, so I'm very... Reese, it's my first time here with the UMP Modified. I am definitely looking forward to it. These guys have done nothing but blow me away with absolutely quality racing action. And I say quality in the most sincere of formats, ladies and gentlemen. First time we've ever broadcast a money race here on Pit Road Productions as well. Don't get me wrong, No Limit Racing did have a bounty on Jackson Winnington one time. Hilarious entertainment. But Reese, we should probably get over to the grid as it looks like the pace truck is indeed pulling away.
Yes, we've had many incredible entries come in for the prize money on offer today. Landon Falkenberg on pole position for the first heat. This is, of course, a pill draw. Everyone's assigned randomly. Preston Galloway joins him on the front row. Dylan Schreiner and Jeff Bowser Jr. Will be on row number 2. Then we've got Joshua Colburn Jr. and Dana Burdick, one of the race administrators here at NLR. Braden Carter and Jaden Sporisky will bring us home for the 8 cars to take to the start here. Now, the Dirt UMP Modified is one of my most underrated cars on the dirt side here. It is half open wheeler, half late model, basically, and we're looking for some really fantastic racing still to come here. 750 horsepower from these V8 engines, and they're going to be led away already here with a fantastic initial getaway from the number 92, but the 15 of Preston Galloway trying up the inside of Dylan Schreiner there. Braden Carter holding on to third place as Jaden Sporisky battles hard with Jeff Bowser Jr. for the last position up the back. Landon Falkenberg not taking to the start, unfortunately, so he's going to be potentially going home if he can't make his way up through. Let's keep our eyes on this front of the field, though, Zippy. Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. It's got high banks, and it is an absolute bull ring besides. It's the perfect track for these cars, as you can see.
I got to admit, I'm starting to warm up to them already, Reese. I'm really liking the format here. Absolutely incredible close racing so far. We've seen a 5-way battle for the lead, and we've only got 4 laps left to go for the first heat of the evening.
Yep, fantastic job from these drivers trying to keep it up here. Big move for the number 15 coming by the 6. Oh my goodness, Galloway and Carter, they are fighting as hard as you like, and it looks like the 12's going to get in there as well. What an incredible run this is. A great battle for this second place in the field. This is absolutely crazy. Only the top 3 will transfer through to the feature here. Galloway in the wall.
Oh, absolutely fantastic action so far. Reese free wide, but right now the number 92 car of Dylan Schreiner has been able to pull away. He's clear by about 1.3 seconds. Braden Carter there in second, but right now it's between not only Jeff Bowser Jr., but Jaden Sporisky, as they are indeed fighting for 3rd and 4th place.
Yeah, this is crazy. This is the battle for the transfer right here, and we're looking for some incredible action here. Trying to keep him behind, but I don't think there's going to be much he can do there. That is the finish. That is the checkered flag. Dylan Schreiner is the winner of the first heat of the night. Braden Carter and Jeff Bowser will be the ones who transfer straight through to the feature. The rest of them will have to work their way through the C and B mains. We've got 32 entries tonight, Zippy, and it looks like we're only going to have a 20-car field for the feature, so a lot of drivers will be going home.
Yeah, definitely. I may have encouraged having a full field, ladies and gentlemen, to which I was understandably shut down. But certainly some good fun there. As we got the results here from race 1, Dylan Schreiner took the lead with Braden Carter in second. Jeff Bowser Jr., apparently the British driver, ladies and gentlemen, he was there in third with Jaden Sporisky in fourth. Preston Galloway took 5th with Landon Falkenberg in 6th, and then Joshua Colburn Jr. and Dana Burdick closed out that field and did not take to the start. Let's take a look at the grid here, Reese.
Indeed, looks like Colburn and Burdick were they disqualified themselves from the heat, so I think they're in race control. Anyway, Cody McDonald is on pole for heat 2, with Hayden Hale joining him on the front row. Elliot O'Neill, another new name, alongside Joseph Oakley. So many drivers that we haven't seen before. One of them we've seen before is Nicholas Moll, who is one of the administrators at NLR. Connor Matson joins him on the 3rd row, and then we got Ethan Patterson and Scooter Black rounding out our field. What a name that is in the number 5.
Actually, speaking of the number 13 as it appears on the car, but it's actually number 16 in sim, we do have a cheer for him from Rodfather Gaming 30 on YouTube. By all means, Rod, make sure you hit that subscribe button for us, sir. And if you're on Twitch as well, by all means, smash it on there and all.
Yes, we are going to go into prize details a bit later in warm-up. For now, away we go for heat number 2, and Cody McDonald has managed to get a good start, but Hayden Hale is pressuring him, the top 2, breaking away from the rest of the field. Elliot O'Neill trying to run low, but it looks like the high line is where you want to be. Joseph Oakley, with great traction around the outside, takes 3rd and the final transfer position.
All right, now we've got a battle happening further up in the lead as well. Hayden Hale are able to apply a little bit of pressure there to Cody McDonald, but McDonald currently trying to pull away 0.3 of a second. More action happening further back though. Nicholas Moll, the league admin, looking to try and make a move on the inside of Ethan Patterson, and he just about gets it done.
Yeah, he certainly does. Gets back up into 6th place. Meanwhile, potential moves happening for Connor Matson and Elliot O'Neill as they try to chase down the top 3. Joseph Oakley certainly getting it done in 3rd, and he is creeping up to the back of Hayden Hale and Cody McDonald. Side by side between O'Neill and Matson there. That was for 5th place, but have a look at Hayden Hale. He is having a bit of trouble keeping Joseph Oakley from getting up the inside here. Only 8 laps per heat, Zippy, so you got to make the move where it counts. I think we're going to see a slider, if not a run up the inside from Oakley here.
Yeah, he's definitely applying a good amount of pressure there. Almost makes contact, just inches in the gap, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely incredible racing here as we have a yellow flag.
Yellow.
I think Elliot O'Neill may indeed be the cause.
Yeah, looks like O'Neill, who was in 4th, is now at the back of the grid, at the back of the field. It was contact with Connor Matson. So we'll see Connor Matson up the inside here. Okay. That was very strange. It looked like there was some preliminary ghost contact there. I don't know if that was netcode or not, but regardless, Elliot O'Neill will not be happy with that outcome.
Yeah, I do believe Elliot O'Neill, if I'm not mistaken. Not him. There is one of the drivers. It may be Ethan Patterson. I'm trying to find one of these drivers here. Has definitely been having some connection issues. I know it's a green and white car on my screen. I'm just trying to find out which one it is here, Reese. That one, Connor Matson.
Yes. So yeah, Connor Matson. He'll remain in 4th for the moment. Of course, the admin team at NLR throwing yellows whenever someone has a spin like that, just to bring the field under control and offer everyone a chance to get to the finish here. Fixed setup, of course, for this particular event. Everyone's driving basically the same settings here. It's going to take a lot to find an advantage over everyone else. The number 23 of Joseph Oakley, under pressure from Connor Matson, who's trying his best to get into the top 3 there. Cody McDonald still leading the way, and it is white flag in the air. Final lap, and that number 22 of Cody McDonald looks like he is going to take this heat victory in style. He is finding the grip wherever he needs to on the racetrack, and that's going to be a well-earned victory there. Hale and Oakley are the ones who get into the top 3 there, and there was a lot of pressure there from Matson. He had a big red hot go at it, but it wasn't quite enough. He has to settle for 4th, and it looks like that was after the line, so it's all good.
I hope to catch that.
Yes. Well, McDonald, Hale, and Oakley are your top 3, with Matson, Patterson, Moll, Black, and O'Neill rounding out your order. Time for heat number 3, we have got Connor Murphy starting on top here with Riley Scrivens on the front row. Christian White and Kyle Reeder are 3rd and 4th. Matt Smith and Jackson Daniel on row 3. And then we have Brandon Jennings and Tyler Bickford, another familiar name from the high stakes late models, making an appearance here. So another field where we're not quite sure what the finishing order is going to be. These pill draws, plus a lot of drivers who we haven't seen before, makes things very interesting.
Oh, it definitely is indeed interesting. I think we got Joshua Colburn actually helping on the admin side of things, ladies and gentlemen. He's there in the YouTube chat. Thanks very much, Josh. He's like, I'm on the other side of racing this time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you to Joshua Colburn, not only for sponsoring No Limit Racing, but also for helping out with the series as well.
Absolutely. Big thanks to the crew at NLR. They have run a tight ship thus far, and it's a pleasure for us to be involved with this incredible opportunity here. Green flag is out, and Heat 3 is go. Connor Murphy running high up the racetrack, but everyone's together there. It looks like Murphy lost a lot of pace in the middle of the corner there, and the track is getting a bit more worn in, Zippy. That means that the grip is going to be harder to find.
I gotta be honest, I don't think it's just grip, Reese. I think it's just space, because look at these guys battling 3 wide, almost 4 wide in place. It's absolutely fantastic stuff. Don't get me wrong, I've enjoyed the late model socks, but these UMP Modifieds are even more fun, as we've got contact happening, chaos, panic, and disorder, ladies and gentlemen. Thankfully, I'm not behind the wheel, but Matt Smith, Jackson Daniel, and Tyler Bickford getting into a fight for P4 and beyond. Meanwhile,
and the top
lead
3
change.
is on 2. Yeah, Riley Scrivens getting into the lead. Fantastic racing. Brandon Jennings still in 3rd spot. Connor Murphy falls to the back of the top 3. And just as the move is made there for the lead, the caution is out. And it looks like, whoa. Okay, that's the reason for the caution, evidently.
Okay, yellow flag required. I think something happened with Kyle Reeder there. And indeed Christian White. Oh, my lord.
Oh, yeah, so Reeder lost his left front wheel. I mean, it's not the most important wheel on the car on dirt oval, but you still need it. And this is how it happened. Oh, okay, contact from behind, and then he hit the outside wall with the left front. Quite a big spin there for Kyle Reeder. And Christian White also got involved too. Yeah, looks like just got sandwiched, and he was trying to make it into the pits, but it looks like that car is not steering.
Yeah, fair play. There's definitely a little bit of damage involved there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's try and get this thing back to live here a second.
All right. Well, while we are under caution, very quick rundown of prizes for the feature. We'll go into more detail later, but these guys are racing for $100 for tonight's feature win, $50 for second, and $25 for third. Also got a hard charger and a hard luck award. We'll get into it shortly, but while we are sorting out these behind the scenes issues, Riley Scrivens is back under green flag racing, and he's managed to keep the lead nicely from Brandon Jennings, but there's a lot of racing to happen for it, and Connor Murphy is going to fall under some pressure from Matt Smith, Tyler Bickford, and Jackson Daniel side by side for the lead. And there we go. We are back to live pictures just in time for this lead battle. Riley Scrivens holding on nicely to that outside line, going to come up to white flag. This is Brandon Jennings' last chance to have a go at a feature win, but it's so slick on entry around here. You've got to be very careful to get your car angled in just right. I see a bit more fresh clay up the exit of the corner, but it's not enough. Riley Scrivens will take victory here, or will he? A little bit of an inside run. Yeah, it looks like Scrivens has just enough there to get it done for the win. Jennings and Murphy are your top 3. And then we have Matt Smith, Tyler Bickford, Jackson Daniel, Christian White, and Kyle Reeder. Unfortunately, not making it to the finish, those last 2 drivers. Man, this has been very entertaining thus far, but we've still got another heat to go, plus a potential C and B main before our feature. So let's get into those that final grid here, Zippy. Ethan Johnson has got pole position for The final heat of the night, Randy O'Neill and Mason Setting rounding out your top 3 on the grid, with Braden Avila joining Setting on row 2. James Gray, Joshua Nichols, Benjamin Crook and Ryan Hodge make the 8 cars to take to the start here. So basically, this is the heats are deciding the top 12 positions in the feature, and I believe the C and B main will decide the final 8 positions on our 20-car grid. It's been entertaining thus far. I love the high banks of I-55. They create great racing.
Yeah, and I've got to give a bit of a shout out here to Ethan Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. He indeed has the highest overall I rating I've ever seen, 11,211 with a world-class license. Absolutely incredible achievement.
Yeah, crazy achievement indeed. So look out for him to get the dub potentially in this one. The Dirt UMP Modified is not the most popular car class on iRacing Dirt, but it certainly brings the talent, and Ethan Johnson leads us away for the green flag for the final heat of the night. Second and third side by side. Mason Setting gets up the inside of Randy O'Neill. Braden Avila spins at the back of the field, and that might be an issue. He manages to get back going. Randy O'Neill has been spun to the back of the pack as well. Contact there, and he'll try his best to get back going. Moves into the pits, and the yellow is out.
Well, let's take a quick look at a replay for that race. Definitely a lot going on for that race start. Here it is with Braden Avila.
Yeah, so Braden Avila gets a little hurry up from behind from the 99 of Joshua Nichols, and then looks like another car comes in and finishes the job, unfortunately. So Braden couldn't do much about that. Randy O'Neill, meanwhile, turns in up high, and then in comes the number 1 of Ryan Hodge and slams into the side of him, sends him up into the barrier, and it looks like that might be the rear right wheel that has come a cropper just in time for the leader to arrive on the scene.
Yep. I do apologise for having a couple of technical difficulties here right now, ladies and gentlemen. The thing will not indeed go back to live, so bear with me a second here. We're going to try and get this sorted out.
Yes, indeed. They are still under caution for the moment, and we'll wait a little bit for racing to resume. We are unfortunately minus 2 cars here. Avila and O'Neill are still in the pit lane at the moment, getting those repairs done, but the top 6 have fielded up, and it looks like Avila has just managed to get back out onto the racetrack in time to join the rest of the field. So, time for the final half of this final heat of the night. Ethan Johnson continues to lead the way here, side by side for second between Mason Setting and Ryan Hodge. Setting running up high. He is the leader of the high stakes late models championship at the moment, and he is showing his talent, but he's trying a little bit higher. I don't know if that's working. He's getting up into more slick up top. Trying to stay middle seems to be the way to go for the moment. That is where the grip is once you get to corner exit, and Ryan Hodge is piling the pressure on.
Yeah, right now I've got to say Ryan Hodge, I'm absolutely loving the paint job on that. SpongeBob SquarePants, you got SpongeBob on the side and Patrick on the other. Definitely giving me a little bit of a giggle here. Thinking of our long friend Dylan Newhart there for such kind of antics.
Yeah, indeed, miss you, Dylan. Here they come then for the final couple of laps of the race here. They've fallen into single file. It doesn't seem like anyone's making any big moves for the moment, but there could be mistakes. Mason Setting and Ryan Hodge are still fighting over second spot as Ethan Johnson has skipped away from the rest of the field, and Hodge is trying up the inside. It's just not working. Looks like Setting is comfortable up high now. He is feeding the rear of the car to the wall, and the wall is eaten good tonight. We'll have a look at this for Joshua Nichols as well. He's going to try and have a go at the final transfer spot, but that is the end of the feature. Checkered flag has flown. Ethan Johnson takes the win there with Mason Setting and Ryan Hodge rounding out your top 3 and transferring through into the feature, with Joshua Nichols and Braden Avila 4th and 5th. We have Benjamin Crook, James Gray, and Randy O'Neill rounding out our finishes there. Randy O'Neill, unfortunately, not making it to the finish thanks to his spin and touring into the pits for damage. Now, it is time for the C main. We have Jaden Sporiski starting on the front of this one with Matt Smith alongside him, Preston Galloway and Tyler Bickford, third and fourth. Landon Falkenberg will obviously not be taking it to the start there, with Jackson Daniel and Scooter Black rounding out your top 7, then James Gray, Kyle Reeder, and that's going to be the end of the field there. 9 cars competing here for the top 9 positions, apparently from what I can see in the event info. Sorry, not the top 9, the remaining 9 positions in the feature. We'll have to wait and see how exactly that works out, but for the moment, we just need to focus and get our eye in here for 15 laps of racing in the C main, 8 laps for the heats, so a little bit more distance for these drivers to cover.
Yeah, it should be a good race here, Reese. Definitely, I'm really enjoying this new car they've got here at NLR. Definitely, I think it's been in iRacing for a while, fair play, but and don't get me wrong, I don't really have a lot to compare for the dirt racing cars, but this one, I'm starting to take a warming to it. I do find that you can get instead of 2 wide, 3 wide lanes, gentlemen. I do wonder if it's a little bit more approachable and a little bit more easy to handle than the late model stock, or the pro late model.
It is actually. It is actually, I find. The Modified is quite an easy car to handle, and you know, it provides good racing as well. I think once you graduate from the lower classes of dirt racing, this is probably a really good thing to try. Going high there was Sporiski there to get things started, and we'll move through into turns 1 and 2, slipping and sliding all the way through towards the back of the field. Midfield in particular is on there. Tyler Bickford trying to make a move up the inside of Landon Falkenberg, who has taken to the start.
Did you see the absolutely insane closing speed there from the green car? I'm trying to get my clock on him. I do believe it is indeed Tyler Bickford there who had that incredible closing speed, but you can see there getting a little bit of a nudge on the front axle, but absolutely insane closing speed. I almost thought there was going to be a huge contact there.
Yeah, Bickford is really keeping up that mid-corner speed, and it's on for the lead as well. Jaden Sporiski and Preston Galloway, they are leaving nothing on the table, cranking the wheel all the way over to keep the slide going. Sporiski, though, holds on nicely to the front. There goes Tyler Bickford up the inside there, and we need to be careful in 3 wide situations, especially at a track like this. Where do you find the gap to make the move? That is the question. Kyle Reeder just looking at these two and looking for an opportunity. Jackson Daniel is the driver. Tyler Bickford is trying to pass there in the blue machine, and Bickford gets up the inside there. Great view from Kyle Reeder. Side by side continues, and Bickford gets up the inside again, and there we go. That's the slide job. That is the most perfect slide job I've ever seen. Beautifully done.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen Bickford out here in LR before, but you could hear Kyle Reeder just grazing along the wall, flirting with that concrete. You see there, a little bit of the right rear getting kicked up in sparks, ladies and gentlemen. But how about in the lead right now, James Sporiski? He's managed to pull away by about 1 second, 7/10 of a second even. As right now, Preston Galloway's there in second. Matt Smith, he's down a position in third, but it looks like we've got a battle at the back of the field between James Gray and Scooter Black.
Yeah, these two getting into each other a little bit, and we'll see if they can pick up any positions from drivers making mistakes ahead. Scooter Black seems to be running the grip line a little better through turns 3 and 4, but James Gray catching a little bit of fresh clay in the middle of the road there in the last couple of turns. Oh, it's so challenging to keep the momentum up, but James Gray is working very nicely to try and grab 8th place from Scooter Black. Sporiski, meanwhile, has jetted away in the lead. It looks like Preston Galloway is struggling to keep up with him, falling back into the clutches of Matt Smith.
Yeah, it looks like we've got a bit of a 3-way fight happening. Almost a 4-way fight, though, between Preston Galloway, Matt Smith, Landon Falkenberg, and indeed Tyler Bickford. These 4 guys, the closest on track. As I say that, Bickford now getting a little bit closer to the back of the 21 car of Landon Falkenberg.
All right, so Tyler Bickford is having an awful lot of fun out here. He has elevated his way back up to 5th place. Wasn't the best of starts for him. Remember, he started 4th for this race, so need to make up a little bit more time here, and he's potentially worried about his standing in the overall night. White flag is out. This is where it gets decided. Some of these drivers will be going home. Tyler Bickford trying to up the outside. This is incredible here. He is setting up the move and getting up the inside of Landon Falkenberg. Ahead of them, Jaden Sparisky takes victory. Preston Galloway and Matt Smith round out your top 3, with Landon Falkenberg and Tyler Bickford rounding out your top 5. Behind them, commiserations must go to Kyle Reeder, Scooter Black, and James Gray. Not quite able to make their way any further up to the transfer spots there. All right. That's going to be your results then. All drivers getting to the finish, which is fantastic to see. And really hope that we can see the same here for the B main. Connor Matson is on pole position with Joshua Nichols starting in 2nd. Ethan Patterson and Braden Avila on the 2nd row. Nicholas Mole and Benjamin Crook are row 3. Then we have Christian White and then Elliot and Randy O'Neill rounding out the back of the grid there. And well, we'll start things off now. Randy O'Neill was a bit slower to get going than everyone else at the back of the field, but he is joining the rest of them as we speak. It is time for the next of them. And yeah, it looks like we've got, unfortunately, confirmation that Tyler Bickford, because he was unable to make the pass in the previous race, he will not be taken to the feature grid there. A real shame to not see one of our regulars on the grid for the feature, but this has been a very entertaining night thus far, and we're about to get the green flag here, Zippy.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolute belter. Don't get me wrong, it's great to see a lot of these new drivers, but I would like to see even more of them sticking around for Season 3 of No Limit Racing, as indeed we are going underway, as it's going to be Connor Matson to take the lead, with Joshua Nichols right behind him in 2nd.
And Matson sliding up the circuit, but it doesn't look like there's much grip out there. The middle line, once again, is where you want to be. Joshua Nichols sliding up, and he catches some fresh clay again on the exit. The traction is there. Braden Avila gets into it as well. The number 25 is keeping it nice and tight on the inside. The racing has been so close in these UMP Modifieds, but so clean as well. It's fantastic to see. This has been a brilliant event so far, and this is only continuing. Joshua Nichols trying his best to fly around the outside of Braden Avila here. Both of them keeping Connor Matson solidly in their sights.
Yeah, very much so. If Matson gets the opportunity, he will indeed run away with it. But right now, I've got to say fair play to the drivers. The 25 and the 99 have been joined at the hip since the green flag dropped.
Yeah, they certainly have. Barely any room between them. Fighting going on in the midfield as well. Nicholas Mole here in the bright yellow machine. He's trying to get into the top 5. Benjamin Crook, he's got a lot to play for here, but they're losing touch with the cars ahead. Matt's, oh my God, bit of 3-wide contact, and Elliot O'Neill and Christian White come together, and that looks like it's going to involve Randy O'Neill too. Christian White is going to get going. We stay green, or do we? We don't. Randy O'Neill has suffered damage to the left front. That is such a shame for Randy. Christian White also with big damage to the right front.
Was it me, or did that pickup truck just redefine the law of physics just then, Reese?
Yes, the iRacing pace vehicle drivers have very special powers. We're still trying to figure out how to transition them to the rest of the population.
Yeah, certainly. Like, he's a man, or indeed a AI on a mission, ladies and gentlemen. I'm definitely not. You get cut off by the pace truck, just let him have it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I don't want to mess with that. AI is getting much more advanced, much stronger now. I think the Singularity is not too far away, and potentially the iRacing pace truck driver will be a part of it.
Yeah, so don't get me wrong, we're getting a little bit of essence of Ultron going on here with the pit crew, I guess. But saying that, I mean, it's been a very interesting week, as we did indeed see a light aircraft land this last couple of days at Lime Rock Park, ladies and gentlemen. I do have to wonder when iRacing will indeed add that to the sim. Certainly will encompass the flight sim and driving sim, uniformly on the same piece of software.
Yeah, absolutely. Throw train sims in there as well. I do love me a bit of pretend train driving. A big open world where you can race cars, drive trains, and fly planes. That would be fantastic. Anyway, we'll looks like the caution has been extended, so we're going to see another lap or so before we get things started again. Connor Matson has continued leading this race very nicely for the time being as they try their best to form up here. I'm not exactly sure why the caution was extended, but they have formed up properly now. They've given the pace truck plenty of room, and they'll be able to get back going and complete the final 10 laps or so of this B main. Again, a 15-lap green flag length. It's just a bit of an extension over the heats, and the feature is going to be even longer. Away we go. Green flag flies and Connor Matson is away, but the fight is on for second. Nichols versus Avila once again. Ethan Patterson trying his best to get involved in that one, but Benjamin Crook now becomes part of the action, getting into the top 5 and trying his best to find some room on the inside. There's a bit of fresh clay down low, but the track is very flat down there. Have a look at the exits of these corners. There's less and less fresh clay every single lap. These cars are wearing the track in very well.
Yeah, definitely a lot of tension going on here, and you see these guys are going side by side. I gotta say, Braden Avila, you've probably been my my most consistent driver of the evening so far. I don't think I've seen a single race yet where this guy hasn't been side by side with somebody.
All right, this is fantastic stuff. Brilliant racing. Avila, though, falling a bit into single file. Nicholas Moll trying a move on Ethan Patterson. And it doesn't look like there's going to be much more to say about that in the short term. Side by side for the back of the field there. It looks like Randy O'Neill and Elliot O'Neill taking up those back 2 positions. Randy a lap down thanks to his problems there. So the only thing he can do is circulate and hope for a victory. So here we go then. This is the final couple of laps. Connor Matson continues to hold on, and it's been a very nice run from him thus far, setting 13.9 second lap times. Joshua Nichols, though, he's keeping the car nice and straight on entry there, and he made up some time on the way into turns 3 and 4 there. Braden Avila trying his best to keep himself in the top 3. I think he will be safe for the feature transfer, though. It's Ethan Patterson and Nicholas Moller who are chasing for that as the white flag is about to come out.
Yeah, they are indeed running out of time if they want to try and move their way up through the field, ladies and gentlemen. The hard charge really, actually, Braden Avila, he made his way up 1 position. I'm starting to wonder just how hard it is to pass in this UMP Modified. Does that look like Benjamin Crook there going a little bit wide? It's putting back a little bit here, but I have got to wonder, is Nicholas Moll going to get a chance at the very end? He's taking the low line. Is it going to be enough? I don't think it is, but certainly a valiant effort there, but a good win there by Connor Matson. Joshua Nichols takes second with Braden Avila in third.
Yep, fantastic job from Connor Matson. Well-earned victory there. Started from pole and didn't look back. Same for Joshua Nichols as well. Started second, finished second. Great race from him. Braden Avila, meanwhile, started in 4th and manages to get into the transfer. Ethan Patterson finishing in 4th place. Benjamin Crook, Nicholas Moll rounds out your top 5 with Benjamin Crook only 4 tenths behind. And then we have Elliot O'Neill and Randy O'Neill taking to the finish. Christian White, unfortunately, not making it to the finish. Well, looks like the sun's gone down at I-55 Zippy. That means that we are in warm-up and we can talk a bit more about what this event is all about. So, yeah. This is the first big money race that No Limit Racing has organized. It has attracted some incredible talent. There is a total prize pool of $175 up for grabs. As I said, 100 for the winner, 50 for second, and 25 bucks for third. There's also a couple of other prizes on offer as well. The winner will also get a free wrap from Hogan Race Wraps. The Hard Charger, most positions gained, gets a free wrap from Misfit Creations. And there's also a Hard Luck Award, which I haven't seen done before. A free logo from Stellar Race Wraps.
Well, definitely good to see these sponsors out in form. But ladies and gentlemen, let's not forget the title sponsor of P1 Sim Sports. If you need to get some sim racing gear, definitely give Kevin a good hit up. He also does a beautiful referral program as well. We're going to show you a little bit later on, but you get these little plaques. They're 3D printed. They have your flag. They have your name or your nickname in my case. I've got Zippy on mine and a Canadian flag. And he, if you refer someone to No Limit Racing, certainly he did this for last season and indeed the season before. As far as I know, he's going to be doing it again for season 3. But if you do that and refer somebody, he will send you one for free. I was so pleasantly surprised. Never have I had a client going to send me a gift, which was, you know, don't get me wrong, I mean, we're a hired company kind of deal. I get that. But it's such a bonus. And then every time I get in the sim rig, it's there. I'd say looking at me, it doesn't have eyes, but you get the gist, ladies and gentlemen. And it makes you feel happy every time you get into your rig. So certainly, if you'd like to get one of those, you need to refer someone to No Limit Racing. Certainly, there is opportunity there. And not only that, I'm really looking forward to Season 3. Don't get me wrong, I think it's going to be about a month away from today, roughly. We've got the final round on Tuesday. So if you thought about joining up, why not, ladies and gentlemen? Sign up for the final round. And by all means, if you want to get involved, give us a shout here on the YouTube chat or indeed the Twitch chat. We'll do our very best to reply or leave a comment on the YouTube video as well. We'd love to have you get involved and help this Dirt Oval League keep growing, thanks to the wonderful efforts there of Nicholas Mole, Dana Burdick, and indeed the whole community as well. I've got to say, there's some guys in there. I'm thinking Colburn, for example, Faverston as well. Really been very supportive of helping this league keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. And while we're here, we should also give a shout out to Mo Auna, who was the original founder of No Limit Racing. Unfortunately, life happened for him and he had to hand over ownership of the league. But we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, Mo. So if you're watching, a huge thanks to you. And we hope you're doing well wherever you are. For the moment, a couple of minutes remain in this warm-up session. We can talk a little bit more about how the track has been evolving as well. You know, I-55 being as high banked as it is, as the track evolves and it becomes slicker as cars go over it, you enter a little bit of a weird sort of no man's land, I think, where you see the fresh clay down low and you want to use that. You want the grip. But this track is sort of shaped like a bowl. The bottom is flat. The top is quite high. So where do you go? Middle of the track is often the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I'm no dirt oval racing expert, certainly not compared to my comrade over here on my right, Mr. Reese Gardner himself. Don't get me wrong, follow him on Twitch, ladies and gentlemen, Southpaw Racer. Definitely, he can drive a lot better than me, and he's probably a lot more entertaining as well. But in terms of the track, I'm definitely no expert. Definitely, I do have to wonder, I need to take the UMP Modified for a spin, give that a go, and just see if I could control that a little bit more than the Pro Late model. I found that was incredibly challenging, even with somebody that had rallycross experience. But I do have to, you know, honestly just take your word for it. And for me, I'm starting to see that with these UMP Modifieds, we're seeing more and more 2, 3 wide, even 4 wide scenarios, which to me just means even better racing. But one thing that I am noticing as well, the drivers are managing to keep it clean. Don't get me wrong, the strength of field here is indeed very potent. To get some moves done is going to take a lot of work. But Reese, you would be the expert on this. What would be your strategy going into this main feature race?
Oh, I think there's a fair chance for a few cautions over the course of this. The feature, get this, it's going to be 75 green flag laps.
Oh my!
So, yeah. We're going to be in it for the long haul here. If there's no cautions, it's going to be over in a flash, but get a couple of cautions in there. I think you're going to have to think about your sort of short-term racing brain. Try and get the move done. The slide job is so important here. We saw it executed perfectly a couple of times in the heats, so make sure that you've got your slider nice and practiced and get it done. I think experimenting a little more with the high line as the race goes on will be good as well, because the top might come back. You never know. It's certainly cooler. There's going to be more of the track to use here. Under lights at I-55, the feature grid is as follows. Dylan Schreiner on pole position. He's got Cody McDonald alongside him on the front row, with Riley Scrivens and Ethan Johnson on row 2. Braden Carter and Hayden Hale have the third row, with Brandon Jennings and Mason Setting rounding out your top 8. The top 10 are completed by Jeff Bowser and Joseph Oakley.
as we have a look at P11. We're going to have Connor Murphy there, ladies and gentlemen, alongside the one and only Mr. Ryan Hodge. Jaden Sparisky, he's going to take 13th with Connor Matson in 14th. Preston Galloway will be there in 15th with Joshua Nichols in 16th. Matt Smith takes 17th. And then in 18th, we got Braden Avila with Brandon Falkenberg and Ethan Johnson closing up 19th and 20th.
Yes, and looks like the top 20 only are getting into the feature. We do see these guys here outside of the top 20, but I believe we were told the feature was only going to be 20 cars. There was obviously something off with the server settings, and it put 30 cars onto the feature grid. So Race Control has disqualified all of those drivers outside the top 20. They will not be taking to the start. So unfortunately, we say our goodbyes to Tyler Bickford, Nicholas Mole, Jackson Daniel, Benjamin Crook, Kyle Reeder, Elliot O'Neill, Scooter Black, Randy O'Neill, James Gray, and Christian White. Thank you very much for your efforts, guys. Unfortunately, you aren't here in the final race of the night, but showing up is half of the honor here for these big dirt events. So you can certainly be proud of how far you managed to get. It's time now, though, Zippy, for the last of our formation laps here. And the pressure will be on for Dylan Schreiner. Can he get the dub and win that $100?
Oh, God, mate, we got some requests here, and they're going to say on hold, ladies and gentlemen, as this 75 lap indeed gets underway, and it's going to be Dylan Schreiner taking the lead. He's got Cody McDonald right behind Ethan Johnson, the 11K I-rated driver. He's there currently in third, already up one position from the start.
Yeah, good job from Ethan Johnson. He'll be a factor for victory tonight. Dipping low is the number 11, and he's going to try his best to get up into second place. He is using that fresh clay down low on the straights, and he's using it perfectly. Super narrow down low there in turn 4, but he uses it just enough to get alongside Cody McDonald. This is the mark of a true pro oval racer here, is finding that fresh clay all the way down low. But have a look at the response up high from Dylan Schreiner. He is using the fresh clay on the exit of the corners here to get a little more momentum. I love the strategy here. We got a car around, unfortunately. It looks like, yeah, Joseph Oakley has fallen down the order, and it's gotten worse. Oh, no. That's involved a couple of cars. Looks like Landon Falkenberg as well getting into it there.
Take a quick look here at the replay. There's Oakley coming in. He came in super hot there. I got to admit, Reese, if that's that actually looks a little bit intentional from what I can see.
That's very weird. Let's see the onboard from that one. So yeah, Oakley, he doesn't even get on the brakes, and he was obviously still in full control of the car there. He has been very quickly disqualified by Race Control. He's saying in the InSim text chat, wheel broke. But yeah. Yeah, that was pedals, buddy. Yeah, we don't entirely have proof of that, but yeah, not ideal for Joseph Oakley there. If he indeed is having hardware issues, we hope that you can get them fixed up. But and we are one car down, and that's going to leave 19 remaining here in the feature. Looks like Connor Murphy has been unable to get back out of the pits yet, so there are 18 cars on track at the moment, Jaden Sparisky being the last of them. We're getting ready. Well, I was about to say we were getting ready, and then Race Control extended the caution. So lights back on the pace truck for a bit.
I got me. I definitely would not want to be in Race Control, but I have to agree with him there that I would 100% have done an instant black flag, so fair play to him there. It's just a little bit of a shame though, really, because not only did Connor Murphy, I think, end up getting caught in that, but that is another driver who could have potentially, you know, been in for a shot in this final feature race.
Yeah, of course. Don't forget that everyone in this field is in contention for that prize money. They've all worked hard over the course of the night to get to where they are. And dirt racing does have a little bit of biff and barge. That's just part of it. Away we go then. Green flag flies. We are back to green flag racing, and Ethan Johnson is immediately on the attack on Dylan Schreiner, side by side for the lead. The 92 and 11 are practically inseparable right now, and Ethan is trying his best to get the exit down low, but it just looks like it's hard to do. He's got to be careful of the concrete wall as well. You hit that, and you will be spun around. They almost go 4 wide further back. Mason Setting, Hayden Hale, Brandon Jennings, Ryan Hodge, Joshua Nichols, all involved in this fight just outside the top 3. We're looking at 5th place Braden Carter, who's trying to make a move on Riley Scrivens. The caution is out again, though. Something has gone wrong for somebody.
Ethan Patterson, I believe. He was getting some cheers earlier on. You can see he's there in this absolutely incredible fight. In the it's number 13 on the livery. Just gets a little bit loose, no. Hooks around, and sadly gets a little bit tied up there. But thankfully, could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, that's a shame for Ethan Patterson. The track, I think, is getting a lot slicker now. I mean, you can see it under lights. The track is basically glistening, and that's not what you want to see as a dirt racing driver. You obviously want some slick, but you want to see some lighter, fresher surface, which is cooler, has more moisture, offers better grip. Well, Connor Murphy pulling through the pit lane here. He'll try and resume orders back at the rear of the grid. Jaden Sparisky taking a stop as well, just to get some repairs done. And he's going to come out basically level with the rest of the field here.
What I can say is I love the fact that Bilstein was able to get in with that sponsorship placement right on the car. That, I think, is fantastic. Green.
Fantastic. So is the green flag flying with Ethan Johnson. Now, it looks like he's managed to do it. He's managed to get ahead of Dylan Schreiner and immediately moves up to cover him. That was perfect there from Ethan Johnson. He got the momentum down low, and he managed to position his car in front. Now it's Dylan Schreiner's turn to be the one on the attack.
Well, I've got to say, my hugest respect goes to the driver of the number 92 car, Dylan Schreiner, because he is literally battling with somebody who, on paper, has 4 times the I rating that he does. That is absolutely incredible. While he may not have won the war, he is definitely in the battle. But let's have a look a little bit further back as we have an absolute onslaught of these V8-powered machines, all fighting for 3rd place.
Yep, Carburet is sticking out above the bonnet there, with Riley Scrivens getting a little bit of contact there. Cody McDonald slips on through. Little tap, par for the course in dirt racing. It's all a part of the action here. And we have Braden Carter in the midst of all of this as well, trying to get up the inside there. Mason Setting and Hayden Hale running side by side. Hale in that number 6, who we saw absolutely powering it through these corners. Cody McDonald has managed to find his way into 3rd, and we have a lot of potential for him to keep things going as our top 2 seem to have settled into a rhythm here. Johnson and Schreiner breaking away from the rest of the pack, and McDonald leading the charge to try and get into that top 2. They're still running side by side of Mason Setting and Hayden Hale. And Setting is going to have a 3rd car join it there. The 99 of Joshua Nichols down low, 3 wide. Nichols gets sent almost into the wall, loses a few positions. He's back down to 10th, but he's still up 6 positions, fighting with Connor Matson and Braden Avila for the Hard Charger Award.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot going on right now. You see Joshua Nichols currently up in incredible 6th place. I'd say that 5 places, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, he's continuing to battle. Ethan Patterson, he's managed to recover up 6 positions as well, despite that spin earlier. Right now, Joseph Oakley currently down 10, but he has indeed been disqualified for that incident earlier on. But I've got to say, if I go back on Cody McDonald a second here, have a look at his left rear quarter. Featherstone getting in the product placement there, one of the No Limit Racing sponsors.
Indeed, Featherstone Welding and Fabrication, always good to have them on board. Infamous Raceworks as well, and we certainly have a Colburn Race Wraps as well.
Attaboy, this guy's repping.
This is a full-on no-limit racing scheme right here. Nice to see. Well, Cody McDonald has worked his way nicely into a gap. He is the only driver still with our top 2 at the moment, still within a second. Braden Carter, Riley Scrivens, Mason Setting, and Connor Matson here. Oh, my Lord, Matson with a poor exit, and he doesn't quite get it. Mason Setting in the number 3 gets the run round the outside and tries his best to get into it with Braden Carter. We have Hayden Hale right there as well in the midst of that battle for 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. Back to just outside the top 10, Ryan Hodge, car number 1. He's trying to break into it.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I am loving the SpongeBob livery, ladies and gentlemen. Ryan Hodge, we don't have a Best Paint award, but don't get wrong, it would be between yourself and Cody McDonald right now. I'm loving how well McDonald is indeed representing No Limit Raceway, but right now there is nothing but pressure for all of these drivers. If I have a look at the timing screen, 0.2 of a second separating each of the drivers from about P4 all the way down to about P16, ladies and gentlemen. Incredibly close racing here at Federated I-55.
Yeah, brilliant racing for sure. Braden Carter keeping himself in 4th as the yellow flag is out. There's been an incident. Oh no, Jaden Sparisky. He was starting a bit further down. He's already carried some damage. Just went too hot into the corner and caught the wall. And there is no steering left on that car, so he had no choice but to tow.
Yeah, definitely not the race start he was looking for, ladies and gentlemen, as Sparisky is indeed going to have to return to the pits. But I do have to wonder as well, Ethan Johnson and Conrad had indeed started to pull away from the rest of the field. What are they going to be able to do now, though? Definitely a yellow flag does make for great racing for us, ladies and gentlemen. But himself, Dylan Schreiner and Cody McDonald, these three are now going to be sandwiched back together again. Not only that, with the rest of the field right there behind them.
Yeah, this is a chance for those who lost touch with the leaders to have another go at them here. Caution came out at exactly the right time for everyone outside the top 3. Now they have a chance to get things done. All right. A little bit of a reminder of what's at stake here tonight. We have payouts. This is the money race. $100 for the win. Currently, Ethan Johnson's in the hot seat for that one. Second place gets $50 and third gets $25. The winner of the feature gets a free wrap from Hogan Race Wraps. The hard charger, most positions gained in the field, gets a free wrap from Misfit Creations. And the hard luck award, which I believe is the driver who lost the most positions, gets a free logo from Stella Race Wraps. Great amount of support here for the Midstate Showdown here. The first real money race that No Limit Racing has put together. And we are about to go green flag racing again. Ethan Johnson leads us away. Dylan Schreiner keeping him honest, though. Little tap in the rear. Going 3 wide for second place. Braden Carter and Cody McDonald trying to throw themselves into this one. And Carter is on the... Oh, he's in the middle there with Cody McDonald trying his best to work the inside line there in the number 22. My Lord, what fun racing we are having tonight. McDonald is doing pretty well there down low. He's using that fresh clay to hook in the front end of his car, but it's not quite enough. Now Mason Setting gets back into it. It's absolute bedlam in the midfield here. Ryan Hodge, I don't know where you'd go if you were him.
Yeah, I'm honestly starting to wonder how on earth these guys ever make a pass. But right now, Connor Matson, he's currently up 8 positions, the hard charger in this field so far. Ethan Johnson not been able to pull away a lead. As I say that, he's about 7/10 clear. This guy is rated for 11,000 I rating, ladies and gentlemen. I do have a feeling he's definitely in it for the money. He's going to go full Jerry Maguire on this race. But I have to wonder, can Dylan Schreiner contend there as Braden Carter and himself having a huge battle for second? And the whole time, Ethan Johnson able to run away.
Well, this is exactly what I was saying about the caution. It gave those outside the top 2 another chance to fight, and Braden Carter has risen to the occasion. Fantastic job from him to get into second place. Now he's stuck running that higher line as Dylan Schreiner has to work the low line to try and find some extra grip out there. There's basically no fresh clay anywhere on the circuit at the moment other than right down by the concrete wall.
Yeah, definitely to get it as close to that concrete wall as you can, you've really got to be able to balance that throttle. As we see a bit of contact there with Ryan Hodge and indeed Ethan Patterson. Patterson currently up 8. He's tied for hard charger with the number 2 car of Connor Maxson. But right now, huge battles happening here in the midfield.
Yeah, you can also throw Braden Avila in there. He is also up 8 positions. So 3-way tie for hard charger. Let's see how that one works out. Braden getting into the top 10 there and trying his best to keep the others behind. Ryan Hodge is pressing hard to try and get it done there. Bit of a sandwich. 3 wide on the way into the turn there. Joshua Nichols and the car 99 getting it done up the inside. And Obviously not done fully, but you can... all you need to do is be ahead by a little bit, and that's good enough in dirt racing. They are running higher and higher up into the wall now. We're seeing sparks flying when they hit the concrete. It's just a slugfest at the moment. You throw the car into the corner and you just hope it grips up. You hope that you get the right amount of rotation and the traction on the exit. Up high, there is still a little bit of fresh clay on the exit, and it looks like Schreiner was using that pretty well. But Schreiner is starting to fall back now. It looks like this track is not working out for him, this level of usage. Cody McDonald's gotten past him. Braden Carter's got past him. And now Mason Setting is the one on the attack in the number 3. Looks like Connor Matson's going to try and follow him there in the green and white car.
Yeah, Manson's definitely been starting to make a move in the last couple of laps so far. Indeed, we're about 38 laps out of 75 so far, but we do know Mason saying he is indeed no limit racing experience, and I've got to say, he's doing a fantastic job. The young lad himself is very, very respectably doing well here at Federated I-55, but right now the battles are indeed for the midfield. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 2 wide, 3 wide, battles happening for all around for P8, P9, and indeed P10. There's contact there, and around he goes. I believe that may have been Ryan Hodge. No, further back, it's Ethan Patson, ladies and gentlemen. The number 16 car, as yellow flag flies.
Oh, that's a shame for Ethan Patterson. 016 in on the timing, and number 13 in sim. What happened to him trying down low? There was a coming together there between the between 2 other cars, and unfortunately, you once you throw your car in and start sliding on the way into one of these corners, you're already committed. There's not much you can do to alter your lines. So Patterson, I think, an innocent victim of another incident there.
Yeah, it definitely can happen. Thankfully, it didn't look like there was any major damage from that, but it was one of the hard charges. Connor Matson as well, and what's his name gone? It was Avila as well. Braden Alila, I believe. Braden Avila, ladies and gentlemen. I've got to apologise. When the pace truck comes out, the timing screen absolutely just goes mental. Yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, let's catch up here with Joshua Colburn Jr. Reese, I understand you've got a couple of questions for him.
Yeah, so Joshua, it's looking like a very good race so far. What are you thinking about this action?
Oh my lord, I wish I could be on the track right now. These guys are racing 3-4 wide constantly, lap after lap, and it's put on a show. I have no words. I'm just flabbergasted over here.
Yeah, these UMP Modifieds have put on a great show, haven't they? It plants the seed of an idea in my mind for a full series.
Well, I don't know if I can say anything yet, but there's the talks of having a series in the works.
All right, well that's an excellent little hint right there. But yeah, you know, I think we up here in the booth have been very happy with how clean the racing has been as well for the most part. You know, I expected quite a bit of chaos, but the racing has been close but respectful.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, with a small track like I-55, we were expecting to have at least 4 or 5 cautions, just some generalized racing incidents. But the drivers, they've been saving them left and right. I mean, car highs to getting slammed at the door. I mean, they're doing a great job out there.
They absolutely are. Thanks for joining us, Joshua. Enjoy the rest of the race here.
Of course, you guys have a good one.
All right, so away we go again here under green flag conditions, Zippy, and they're going 3 wide just outside the top 3. Matson and McDonald trading spots there, and Matson is now up 10 positions. A fantastic job there from the driver in P4. Joshua Nichols also up 10 spots too. Dylan Schreiner is trying desperately to hold on to his position in the top 3. Ethan Johnson skipping away with Braden Carter following him. It is all on outside of the top 2 here.
Oh, I've got to be honest, this is absolutely crazy. We need to get more dirt over here on Pit Road Productions. Ladies and gentlemen, this is absolutely phenomenal. This is one of the events I wish I was there in the grandstands. Absolutely phenomenal racing, an absolute onslaught of cars, an onslaught of battles, and indeed a little bit of a lucky dip here. How on earth these drivers managed to survive going side by side, lap after lap. Not only that, they're making passes while doing about 100 mile an hour sideways. Incredible talent. Oh. As I say that, Joshua Nichols, he was one of the hard chargers, gets caught up, gets tangled, and indeed ends up eating the wall.
Well, we stay green. He managed to keep some pace up. That's a real shame for Nichols. Again, it just looked like a coming together from one single mistake, piling up and you know, sort of exponentially piling up, I should say. So Nichols, brief replay here. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, little bit of contact on exit. A bit of ping pong being played with the front end, I believe, and he'll have to settle down in 15th place for the moment. That makes our hard charger Connor Matson, who's up in 3rd place at the moment. Braden Avila up 10 positions, Connor Matson up 11. So at the moment, that's the Stadia Hard Charger Award, and we are coming up to 25 green flag laps to go. Ethan Johnson has been unstoppable, untouchable at the front of this field thus far, and he is running the slick very nicely. You know, despite this being a fixed setup, he has evidently adapted very well.
Yeah, definitely flirting with that outside wall a little bit there. I do know that the race stewards will generally try and advise drivers not to get too keen on that, so I do have to wonder just how many warnings he can indeed get away with, or indeed it will be a race to the end on natural circumstances, for putting it in better terms, ladies and gentlemen, rather than the way we see in some racing series, ladies and gentlemen, where indeed the result is indeed decided by the stewards after Formula 1. Apologies there, a little bit of a cough. Don't get me wrong, I've not seen Baku yet today, but I do know it was busy. But right now, we're going to stick with the dirt as Ryan Hodge, currently up 7 positions, looking to try and make his way towards the podium. But saying that, Connor Matson is indeed about 2.8 seconds ahead himself, and Dylan Schreiner, yeah, that 2.8 second gap as Ryan Hodge now taking over 4th place.
Yeah, Hodge flinging it into the corners up high and using the fresh clay on the exit to keep the momentum up. But it looks like the sort of mid to low line is pretty strong at the moment. This is a solid job there, but yellow flag out, car spun further back. Joshua Nichols.
Yeah, I do wonder if that was a result of the earlier damage there, as the pace truck gets a little bit of a taste of blood, ladies and gentlemen, and tries to kill him and just make sure it's a fully ended scenario. So unfortunate there for the number 99 car of Josh Nichols. Don't get me wrong, he was indeed in contention for hard charger earlier, ladies and gentlemen. I do have to wonder, can he get that car repaired and indeed get out before the yellow flag is indeed put to an end?
Yeah, it didn't look like it was huge contact, at least from the little bit that I saw, but I'm sure that we'll get another view of it very shortly to see exactly what happened to Joshua Nichols. It's so frustrating as a driver when you've been up a huge amount of positions and then one little incident happens and it just keeps going wrong from there. Nichols obviously not getting the rotation that he needed into the corner there, got into the car ahead and got spun around for his troubles. As the track slicks up, you need to really manage your car's behavior and the rotation through the corners. Getting that rotation is the most important part of driving dirt race. And speaking of rotation, have a look at that from our leader Ethan Johnson as we're back under green flag to begin lap number 55 at I-55. And Ethan's doing quite well there. Braden Carter continues to hold on to 2nd place, but Connor Matson is now getting right into it there in car number 2. Ryan Hodge holding on to 4th place. Hodge himself is up 8 positions. This middle of the race has worked out very nicely for him. He was sort of middling in around the top 10 for the most part, and it looks like another caution's going to give him yet another chance here. And I think that's Braden Avila that's unfortunately escaped back to the pits. One of the drivers who was contending for our hard charger award, was this contact with the number 3? It was, and the car got loose. Unfortunately, there wasn't much else he could do from there.
Yeah, number 3 contact with Mason Set, and it's a bit disappointing to see for the guy, because don't get me wrong, he was having an absolutely fantastic race. Definitely every battle he got into, I think he spent more time side by side with anybody than I've ever seen in any broadcast yet. Literally, the guy, it's almost like he was joined at the hip to whichever car got nearest. But I do have to wonder as well, just how much fun could we have if we did indeed wire some fireworks to the right rear corners of these vehicles. I do wonder if we'd get a little bit of an Independence Day kind of celebration on a couple of these laps.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Pretty cool.
I think, yeah, for sure. Quite a few tracks on iRacing now, especially on the dirt oval side, have fireworks at the end of the race in nighttime conditions, which is always a fun sight. They form back up now, getting ready for the green flag once more. Can Ethan Johnson hold on here? Looks like Connor Matson was trying his best to get an iron on the inside there, but he's still having some trouble keeping the momentum up, and it looks like sweeping around the outside is going to be Ryan Hodge, or at least trying to. He's a bit boxed in right now. Braden Carter is running his line, and he is sticking with Ethan Johnson for the lead. Both of our leaders get into the wall. Fortunately, there's some bodywork on the rear of these UMP Modifieds, so they can afford to do that a little bit, but not too much. We're now coming up to 16 laps remaining. Have a look at how close Braden Carter is running it. He is brushing the concrete with those steel panels.
Yeah, I have a feeling. Let's take a little bit of an on board here with Ethan Johnson, because I honestly don't think he's done a corner yet where we haven't seen a huge amount of sparkage from the gentleman here. I do have to wonder just how much he can indeed get away with, but let's focus a bit more on the battles happening in the mid-pack. As Dylan Schreiner looking to try and make his way back towards the podium with Cody McDonald.
Yeah, Schreiner had a good start, but fell back in the mid-phase, and he's going to have a lot of work to do here. Mason's setting one of the cars that he's trying to get past. Got to get past Cody McDonald first. Setting for the moment. He's keeping it nice and straight on the exits. That's helping him. Proper lap time for the moment from the number 3 and the number 28 as well, Brandon Jennings. Riley Scrivens keeping it up in 9th place, just behind Brandon Jennings. It looks like it's a battle of who can keep it the straightest.
Yeah, definitely. We've only got 12 laps left to go of this main feature race as well. So far, Ethan Johnson has been pretty much untouchable. Braden Carter did have a couple of opportunities to try and get him, but not been able to keep up. The 11K driver showing exactly why he has that kind of title. He has a world-class license, ladies and gentlemen. Fair play. I've never had a broadcast with somebody of that caliber in it until today. But Dylan Schreiner right now, he's in the mid-pack, still fighting with Brandon Jennings for 7th place.
Yeah, car 92 struggling to move any further forward, and it looks like Riley Scrivens is going to try and get into it as well there, getting up the inside of Dylan Schreiner. And, Schreiner gets up into the wall, and unfortunately that is position given up to Riley Scrivens there. Connor Matson and Ryan Hodge, meanwhile, have traded spots again. Ryan Hodge is trying his damnedest to get onto the podium and get that $25, but it's going to be difficult with now under 10 laps to go.
Yeah, you can see Mr. Krabs on the front holding the money. Well, if he wants to get his hand on the dollars, ladies and gentlemen, he is indeed going to have to find his way past the number 2 car of Connor Matson, as he's literally side by side right now. He's going to be there on the inside line as we've got a yellow flag, and I believe it's Ethan Patterson and Hayden Hale. Oh, my word.
Yeah, that looked like a big one.
All right.
That is definitely going to deserve a replay.
Yep. As you asked, sir, as you asked.
All right, so Ethan Patterson up high, Hayden Hale and the number 6 down low. Only light contact to start with, but evidently the damage, sort of the contact hitbox for these cars is a little spongy. So Ethan Patterson, unfortunately, getting spun there. And fortunately for them, laps don't count under caution, so they won't go any further laps down the field. But yeah, just a shame to see. I mean, look, the contact that we have seen in this race, it hasn't been that brutal. There haven't been, like, it hasn't been bedlam out here, which is a very significant statement to make, you know? There's been some dirt events that I've seen where it's just been chaos all the way through and nobody can keep out of each other's wheels. But these guys, they know how to race clean and close.
Yeah, it's definitely been a great display of respect and indeed talent. And I got to admit, only the one driver with the hardware failure, we're told. But I got to admit, if your wheel fails, that doesn't stop your pedals, ladies and gentlemen. You could hear the RPM. Don't get me wrong, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but we're going to have to put that on hold as indeed this race goes back underway. It's going to be the final 6 laps in this showdown at the Midstate Showdown for No Limit Racing's first ever money race here on Pit Road Productions.
Yep, the $100 dues in the hands of Ethan Johnson at the moment in the number 11. He's only got to hit his marks, and he has got that done. It is on for second, though. Braden Carter trying to keep Connor Matson behind. Got Ryan Hodge still fighting hard. Spin for Mason Setting. Meanwhile, he falls down the order, and that involves quite a few drivers in the middle of the field. Big drama right at the end of the race here. Mason Setting, he was up inside the top 10, and unfortunately, a bit of contact here. He tried to cut down low and then just came up into the other car. And with the track being as slick as it is, once the slide starts, it's very difficult to stop it.
Yeah, definitely the damage could have indeed been a lot worse, but unfortunate there for Mason Setting as he returns to pit road.
Yeah, he does indeed. So our high stakes late models championship leader out of contention for the Midstate Showdown for now. And this is going to be a proper dash to the finish. We're going to have a bit of an extension to the caution here just to sort things out. Unfortunately, Mason Setting has disconnected from the server, so he joins the retirements list here, which will include Braden Avila, Joshua Nichols, Preston Galloway, Jaden Sparisky, and Joseph Oakley. Real shame for all of those drivers unable to make it this far into the event, but them's the breaks sometimes. It's just how the night goes for some individuals. The individuals up the front, it is all to play for. Ethan Johnson, though, has yet to make a mistake. He's really showing why his I rating is what it is.
Yeah, got me a fair play to him. You'd almost be nervous in a race like this. Don't get wrong, you've almost got a bit of a bounty on yourself for being, that 11k driver. But I got to admit, my hat goes off to some of these guys who've actually been able to really give him a challenge. There was a driver in there, I think it was Dylan Schreiner there, who was rocking 2700 IR and was able to hang with him anyway. I thought that was fantastic, regardless of whether you beat the guy or not. I think a lot of people are going to be going away happy here that they've indeed managed to race somebody of such caliber.
Well, Ethan Johnson's going to lead us away here for the final dash to the finish. It's 4 laps to go, and everyone's getting up into the wall. Sparks flying up high. Carter and Matson will continue fighting over the last 2 spots on the podium. Can Ryan Hodge or Brandon Jennings get in on it as well? There's no grip anywhere on the racetrack at the moment. You basically just got to rely on your rival making a mistake. That's your only chance to take advantage. There's no alternate line you can run. Bit of contact there for Connor Matson from Ryan Hodge. And that's technical issues, but Ethan Johnson is coming up to the final lap there. And it looks like that's going to be Brandon Jennings and Cody McDonald moving up into the top 5. But white flag is out for Ethan Johnson in the number 11. He started from 4th. He has gotten to the lead very quickly, and he has not looked back since. What an incredible drive from Ethan Johnson. He will come across the line and win the $100 in the Midstate Showdown.
Well, I gotta say, he definitely earned the money there, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very good race there. Braden Carter, phenomenal job. He's managed to hold on to 3rd. But Connor Matson, not only is he the hard charger, able to make his way all the way up from 14th to 3rd, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely incredible stuff. And I gotta say, a huge respect to all of these drivers for such clean racing overall.
Absolutely. That's not only $25 for the 3rd place getter of Connor Matson, but also a free wrap from Misfit Creations. Now, in terms of the Hard Luck Award, I'm not exactly sure how it's calculated. If it's the driver who lost the most positions and finished the race, I think that might be Hayden Hale. Whoever it ends up being for the Hard Luck Award, a free logo from Stellar Race Wraps for you as a bit of a consolation prize. But, man, what an incredible event that was. Let's go through our results before we get our drivers in for a chat here. Ethan Johnson wins $100 and the free wrap from Hogan Race Wraps. 2nd place, $50 to Braden Carter, and $25 to Connor Matson, plus the Hard Charger Award of that Misfit Creations free wrap, gaining 11 positions in the end. Brandon Jennings, he was right up there. So was Cody McDonald. They miss out on the podium, unfortunately. Top 5 for them. Dylan Schreiner, great recovery, it has to be said. Made his way back up to 6th place in the end. Riley Scrivens behind him in 7th. Jeff Bowser Jr. gains 1 position. Connor Murphy gains 2. And Matt Smith gains 7 places to round out your top 10.
Absolutely fantastic stuff. As we have a look at P11, Landon Falkenberg took that with Hayden Hale in 12. Ethan Patterson, despite having a couple of rough incidents, still managed to finish 7 places up in P13 with Ryan Hodge, unfortunately, at the end, dropping back to P14. Mason Setting took 15 after that couple of little spins there near the end, with Braden Avila, again, one of the toughest fighters of the evening. He was there in 16th with Joshua Nichols in 17th. Preston Galloway took 18th with Jaden Sparisky in 19th, and Joseph Oakley, the questionable entry on corner there, closing out your 20-car grid.
Yes, indeed. I'm actually quite impressed to see that we had as many cars as we did make it to the finish there. The track looked very difficult in those closing stages. So, yeah, big shout out to all the drivers for managing to get that done. Honestly, as we wait for the drivers to come in for interviews, yeah, I love the UMP Modified. I've decided now. It's produced some fantastic racing tonight, and yeah, this may only be a one-off event, but I'm really looking forward to the next time we see these cars on the airwaves.
Yeah, as I say that, it looks like these drivers are indeed starting to find their way over, ladies and gentlemen. I've got to try and work out who is indeed who here. Reese, if you want to do the honors there and pick a driver as to who's coming in first.
Yes, so we start off with our feature winner, Ethan Johnson. Ethan, congratulations. $100 to you, plus a free wrap from Hogan Race Wraps. Congratulations on the victory. It was certainly difficult, especially as the track evolved. There was barely any fresh clay left by the end.
Yeah, I knew the track was going to get slick like this. You know, I got a bunch of experience on running tracks like this, you know, just with all the money racing that I've done, and kind of expected the track was going to move up. I knew we could run the middle for the first half of the race or so and just save the tire and hopefully have something for the end.
Well, have something for the end you certainly did. You really got a hard race from Braden Carter, from Connor Matson. Dylan Schreiner was up against you very early on as well. We were certainly impressed by the quality of the racing out there, especially at the front. When people made moves, they did it cleanly, and I don't think I've seen dirt cars run that close without making contact in a while.
Yeah, when you get the right group of people, you know, you can have really good, clean racing, hard racing, and you know, you might rub, but you know, nothing major where it's gonna spin you out or wreck you or you know, cost you the race or anything. You know, Braden's really good. You know, Connor's good. You know, these are some clean people you got to race against, you know. So once you get the right group of people, it becomes really clean.
Well, you mentioned that you do quite a bit of money racing, but this being your first real start with NLR, are you going to be interested in jumping into any of their other events as they come?
Honestly, it just depends. You know, I've been busy with IRL racing and haven't really been playing a lot of iRacing. Honestly, I wasn't even going to run this event until my buddy texted me and wanted me to run, told me he'd pay for my entry fee. So I got done working on the race car, came in here, and came to race.
Well, looks like you owe him some of your prize money then, Ethan. Congratulations. And if there's anyone you want to thank for your result, now is the time.
Yeah, I got to thank Kyle Reeder for paying my entry fee. Everybody over at Free Speed, Cocky Floyd Consulting, Solange Transportation, Big Tim Race Wraps, and everybody else who helps me. Thank you, guys.
Excellent stuff. Congratulations, Ethan. Hopefully we see you again at some point.
Thank you.
Ethan Johnson there with the win here in the Midstate Showdown. Next up, we have Braden Carter, who finished in second after starting in fifth. This was quite the interesting one, Braden. You were involved in that top 5 battle the whole way through. It must have taken some effort.
Yeah, man. Respect to those guys for running me clean. It took me a while to get to P2. You know, I had to make a few moves, slide a few guys. I don't really think that was good for my right rear, but you know, in a race like this, and you kind of have a less power with this setup. You know, I just try to get out front early and you know hit my marks from then on.
Well, hit your marks, you certainly did, and absolutely running the high line was the way to go at many points in this race. It's just the nature of this track. It really lends itself to good side-by-side racing. Was there ever a point you thought where the bottom might come back into contention, or was the track just too slick to really do anything with the line laid on?
I honestly thought with the lower power that the bottom would come in and be a little bit more dominant than the top. I know the top's always good here, but these UMPs with the lower power, I've never done this before. You know, I was thinking maybe the bottom would come back in, but when you're late race, you got someone right behind you. It's kind of hard to just go down there and try it and give up a position, especially when we're running for money like this.
Well, in the end, you end up coming home with $50 from this race. So ultimately, a profitable night for you. Is there anyone you want to thank before we let you go, mate?
Yeah, I got to thank my guys over at CSC Motorsports, my dad, Michael Carter, Cale Smith, Jonathan Higdon, Travis Anderson, Chase Hardy, Kyle Hardy, Midwest Forklifts LLC, Len Smith, Randy Carter painting, my granddad, wins race designs for this wrap, you know, NLR putting on this event. I got in here late. Ryan Hodge for getting me in here. Everybody that runs this, Colburn, Nicholas Molly, I believe Dan and Burdick as well. Appreciate those guys for putting this event on. It was pretty fun. Good win to Ethan, good run to Connor.
Excellent stuff, Braden. And yeah, that is a very nice wrap indeed on that car for you. Thanks for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you make an appearance here again.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Well, that's Braden Carter there, finishing second in tonight's money race, and third place, also getting the Hard Charger Award. It is Connor Matson, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, Connor. You must be absolutely ecstatic with that result.
Yeah, it was pretty difficult to get through the pack, especially starting 14th. It wasn't really great on my tires. I felt pretty fast, actually. I wasn't really used to the setup, but hard work pays off, man. That's for sure.
Yeah, you had to do quite a bit of hard work. I mean, especially considering you started all the way in the midfield, which was where a lot of the big, sort of mudslinging action was.
Yeah, it was pretty painstaking, man. I about got wrecked out a few times, but I was just able to slither my way into top 3. It was really hard to get up there, but man, I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, and me and Zippy were talking up in the booth about just how much good racing there was here tonight. What was your view of the racing over the course of the night? It got mega close at times, and there were a few crashes, but you managed to find your way through.
Yeah, it was actually really difficult. Like toward the end of the race, I had a few pretty close calls with him. Braden, me and him are pretty good friends. We've raced a lot. We race a lot of big money races every once in a blue moon. Usually I can't beat him, but man, it was a fun race watching it from the back for about 20, 25 laps, and I was just happy I got through all the carnage.
Well, get through all the carnage, you certainly did. And, well, if NLR ever does another money race, I'm sure it'll be in the future somewhere. You'll be right there, hopefully, and we can have a chance to chat to you again. Anyone you want to thank before we let you go, Connor?
Oh, absolutely. I would like to thank Mad Dog Speed Shop, or Mad Dog Speed. I built all my UMP sets. They are proving to be the baddest and best setups to date right now. Mad Dog Graphics, Infamous Raceworks. I can't thank them guys enough. They've improved me a lot. They critique on everything, and they act like family, man. I mean, I can't be more happier. And then of course Mad Dog Graphics, some of the best wraps on the business. Yeah, that's it.
All right, well, congratulations on $25 for third, plus the Hard Charger Award free wrap from Misfit Creations. Thank you very much for joining us, Connor Matson.
Yep, thank you.
All right, that's going to round things off for driver interviews. Zippy, I understand we have Joshua Colburn Jr. back in here with us to round things off.
Yeah, absolutely, Josh. Always a pleasure to have you here in the booth. Now, you've been nominated as a representative for No Limit Racing on this occasion. Certainly one of the lead sponsors for the last season. Josh, it's definitely been a busy evening for yourself, Dana, and indeed Nicholas. But No Limit Racing, it's been an absolute belter so far. We did get a little bit of a tease about what we can expect for Season 3. What else can you tell us from what you're allowed to disclose?
Oh man, There's not really much I can say else. I would love to tell you guys everything, but we want to kind of get things a little bit more ironed out before we put it out for the rest of the world to see. Yeah.
Oh, definitely, indeed. We have indeed. The cat has got the man's tongue, ladies and gentlemen. But we got to say, Josh, absolutely fantastic having you here in the booth and having your support as well with No Limit Racing. I've got to admit, the UMP definitely a bit of a different animal here. Tell us a little bit about what kind of what kind of logic, and I kind of get it, but I don't fully get it. Why the switch to this particular vehicle?
So the UMP is one of the, I would say, the most fun car to race on iRacing. That's on the dirt side, because you have the power of the late model with the tires of half the size of the late model and no front fenders. So it gives you a different, I guess, driving style and a way to actually manipulate the car on the track, because you don't have as much downforce and you have still the same as much power as before. So it makes the drivers think differently and put the car in different places. It just makes really good racing all out.
Well, definitely, indeed. I have to agree there. We're seeing free wide on multiple occasions. But, Josh, it's been an absolute pleasure. And certainly, again, a huge thanks to you as a sponsor as well. And indeed, to Nicholas Mole, Dana Burdick, and not forgetting Mo Una as well, who really got No Limit Racing going a couple of seasons ago. But, Josh, we are indeed going to get ready to bring this show to a close. Reese, if you'd like to do the honours.
Yeah, thank you very much, Zippy, and thank you everyone for tuning in over the course of this fantastic night of dirt racing. The Midstate Showdown has proven already to be a fantastic event, and it's been our pleasure to bring it to you. It's been our pleasure to bring it to you here on Pit Road Productions, if I can get my words out. Zippy already said it. Big thanks to Joshua Colburn, Dana Burdick, and Nicholas Mole, the current admin team at NLR, and also the sponsors and people who jumped on board for the prizes. Hogan Race Wraps, Misfit Creations, and Stellar Race Wraps providing prizes for the feature winner, Hard Charger, and Hard Luck Awards, respectively. And that's going to be it from us. My name's Reese Gardner, Daniel Zippy Salmon alongside me in the commentary box. Big congratulations once again to Ethan Johnson, Braden Carter, and Connor Matson, our podium here tonight in the Midstate Showdown by No Limit Racing, sponsored, of course, by P1 Sim Sports.